Whenever the subject of project management is brought up, many people immediately start thinking of the tools needed to run projects. Here is some bad news. None of those other tools are going to be effective if you don't have the most important tool available to you. That tool is your leadership skill. Your ability to lead and communicate with the people involved in the project is what makes or breaks the success of the project. Learn how to avoid all the common mistakes people make today. Welcome back to this weekly edition every Monday of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guy, president of Dale Carnegie Training Japan and best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery and my latest book, Japan Business Mastery. We are bringing the show to you from our High Performance Center studio in Akasaka, in Minato-ku, the business center of Tokyo. Why the cutting edge? In this show, we are looking at the critical areas for success in business in Japan. We want to help advance everyone's thinking so that we can be at the forefront, at the cutting edge of how to flourish here in this market. This is episode number 153, and we are talking about the secrets of successful project team management. それでは行きましょう. So let's get going. Projects are simply too common. Because of this, we take them for granted, seeing them as part of our everyday work, but we don't approach them properly. Familiarity breeds contempt type of issue. We usually gather the team together and then dive straight into the details of the project without really applying a professional approach. We certainly don't apply as much planning expertise to the task as we should, as we wade boldly straight into the mechanics of the execution. Why is that? Poor leadership and a lack of skills makes for dangerous dance partners as the team launches forth, rocking and rolling forward with no strategy and little expertise. Often there is no existing documented planning process in place. This can be rather ironic because often the projects are repeated or very similar projects are undertaken. Refined templates and defined structure are missing, so everyone just wings it, making it up as they go along, reinventing the wheel every single time. The goals of the project are often too vague. This is a lack of direction from the top leadership to those tasked with doing the work. The project leader has to push back and manage upwards, seeking clear reasons for the why of the project. They then need to make sure everyone involved in the team understands the why. Project scope creep is like a cancer that can kill the project. The project begins with vague boundaries around what is to be done. In quick order, either external parties or the team members themselves become like Australian emus are very curious fowl and are attracted by bright, shiny objects. Very rapidly, the additional tasks seem to multiply like amoeba, but the time frame and the resources committed to the project are in the deep freeze. This never ends well. The implementation strategy regarding roles, budgets, timelines, and follow-up is weak or non-existent. Well, when you're having fun and winging it, you're super busy getting on with the actual work, so no strategy needed. Later, things go wrong because timelines were not clear nor properly planned. The resources do not turn up at the required timing, or the sequencing of the work is found to be skew-whiff. So there are delays that you cannot easily cover or resolve. You quickly find that people, rather than logistics, are the trickiest part of project leadership. You may not have been able to match the project team resource with the skill sets required, and you have to make do with what you have. I took over running an organisation which had just finished a major back office automation project. To everyone's astonishment, and $5 million later, the system actually didn't work and eventually had to be scrapped. The brainpower and experience of the people on that project team proved insufficient to requirements. Find out more. We come back from the break. If you want to be successful as a leader, do the Leadership Training for Managers course. All companies need people who can both manage and lead. Leading people screams out for real skills in communication, dealing with all different types of people, being excellent at innovation, planning, delegation, handling mistakes, doing performance reviews really well, and inspiring and motivating the team. Do the Leadership Training for Managers course now in either Japanese or English. Are you doing business with Japan? Do you really know how things work? Japan Business Mastery provides the answers. Do you have the right networks and know how to create them? Do you know how to get on the same wavelength with Japanese buyers? Do you know what being trustworthy looks like from the Japanese perspective? Japan Business Mastery is based on more than 30 years' experience in Japan and will become your go-to guide. Want to succeed in Japan? Buy Japan Business Mastery now. Welcome back. There may also be incompatible working styles in the team or difficult personalities involved. You have to become the chief psychologist in addition to team project leader. You find yourself now spending a lot of time and energy dealing with personal feuds or internecine division conflicts. The start of the project may be exciting, but over time, other tasks start to impede on this project and compete for your people's time. Their motivation starts to slide. You have to rally them constantly to be enthusiastic and committed to the successful completion of the project. Sadly, this is when you discover your personal communication and persuasion skills are total rubbish. You're the leader, but you are getting nowhere with the team. This becomes magnified when there are critical issues of internal and external cooperation required. People not completing their tasks on time unleashes issues around trust, commitment, and reliability. Their excuses are never in short supply. This type of creativity is not especially helpful because your boss won't be accepting any excuses from you as project leader. Herding cats seems easier. Because you have never been trained on how to delegate properly, you either don't do it at all or you give it your best shot and it fails and you wind up doing most of the work by yourself. This would be fine if you had nothing else to do and could devote your time to just this one project. Distressingly, the organisation has bigger plans for you. These involve you working a whole slather of other tasks which need to be done as well. The answer to these various nightmares is fairly simple. Train people properly on how to lead projects or get the training for yourself. Projects are always going to appear on the horizon, so invest once to cover this issue off completely. We should aim to develop our own organisation's best practice methodology for doing them. This would be developed through long periods of hands-on experience and constantly updated to reflect the innovation discoveries made along the journey. Transferring the learning from one project to the next won't happen by itself. It needs a specified system to ensure it happens. Do you have one of these? Here is the right checklist for handling projects. 1, define scope. 2, devise plan. 3, implement. 4, monitor, modify, and keep checking. 5, get closure, evaluate. And finally, 6, celebrate. This seems simple enough. However, for each of these steps, we need a trained project head. Someone very highly skilled in leading people. Someone technical who is ace on creating macros in spreadsheets isn't going to cut it as the leader because the skill sets are different. Everyone is looking for the tools for project management. But the people management, that is the real rub. Action steps. Don't treat projects lightly. 2, capture best practices and create a project management template. 3, clearly explain the why of the project. 4, be highly vigilant about scope creep. 5, carefully design the implementation strategy for the project. 6, ensure the project leader has been given leadership training. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show is here to help you succeed in Japan. Subscribe on YouTube. Share with your family, friends, and colleagues. Become a regular. Thank you for watching this episode, and remember to hit the subscribe button. Our website details are on screen now. enjapan.dalecarnegie.com. It's awesome value, so check it out. You might also enjoy our other shows for podcasts. Mondays for the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Tuesday for the Presentations Japan series. And every second Tuesday for the Business Tatsujin no Oshie show. Wednesdays for the Sales Japan series. Thursdays for the Leadership Japan series. And every second Thursday for the Business Pro Podcasto. Now, Fridays we have the Japan Business Mastery Show, and Saturdays the Japan's Top Business Interviews program. Now, you get these wherever you get your podcasts. Also, every second Thursday we release the Business Pro Television Show. Every Friday, the Japan Business Mastery Show, and every Saturday, the Japan's Top Business Interview Show on YouTube. In episode number 154, we're talking about create raving fans when presenting. Find out more about that next week. So, yoroshiku onegai itashimasu. Please join me for the next episode of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. We are here to help you, and we have only got one direction in mind for you and your business, and that is up.